What is going on, guys? Welcome to my very first tutorial on Premiere and After Effects. Now just understand this tutorial is going to be a very basic workflow from Premiere to After Effects and then sending that footage back to Premiere. I will be covering more advanced techniques and effects later, but in this tutorial I just want to keep it nice, plain, and simple for everyone that's just starting on a clean slate, and I think this is a very good starting point for this tutorial series. I will eventually hopefully have enough tutorials where you can just click on my channel and almost everything you need is going to be right there. That is the goal of this tutorial series. But without any further ado, let's get started. New project. And we can name it whatever we want. Hit browse, choose wherever you want to save this thing, and might as well save it there. Title this whatever you want, but I'm going to title it Tutorial Test Video. Everything else looks good. I'm going to hit OK. So, this opened up a new file. A new Premiere file. I'll go into what all this stuff means later, but right now I'm just going to show you exactly what you need to know to generally work in Premiere. So you can double click import media, or you can hit cancel out of that, or just select everything in a file window that you already had open, which is what I usually end up doing just because I'm lazy. So here we have all of our clips and all of the media, and I don't know why I have two of the same shot there, but I do. So if you double click on a file, it'll open it up in this source window. And this will let you select exactly what points you want the clip to be imported into the timeline. So basically, if I hit I, that's gonna set that as the endpoint for the clip. And if I go a little further, I start backing up there, so I'm gonna hit O, and that will create the out point. So I'll drag it into the media, and that selected these exact points to drag and drop down into there. And if I were to extend this out, then that's the actual length of the clip, and this is all that we needed. So you can see where that really comes in handy, especially when you're working with really long video files. Like, I don't know, if you're recording a video game for a super long time and you needed a really good way to just select the certain things, this is certainly the best way Premiere does it. And I'm just gonna import a few more files. There's an unspecified drawing error. Someone forgot how to draw a stick figure. Okay, I'm gonna hit I and then O here. It doesn't really matter. I'm just showing you generally how to do this. Let's get more of my garage. It looks like I'm trying to sell my house. I'm really not, you guys. So don't be coming to me trying to take my property. I know who you are. So here we have a basic sequence of videos, and since the audio doesn't matter, I'm gonna hit M, and that's gonna mute it. I could also hit S, and that would solo it, but that doesn't make any sense because we only have one audio layer. So I'm just gonna hit M because I don't care about the audio in this. Sorry, audio, maybe later. So in order to import this to After Effects, I'm gonna hit right click on whatever clip I want and hit replace with After Effects composition. Now in After Effects, it's going to ask me where I want to save this. I'll just AE file and save it there. Now if I go over to this tab, Effect Controls, this file is already going to have one effect on it, that's Stereo Mixer. This is basically just the basically is what the audio file down here is, and I actually don't want that. I'm also going to mute this audio. I usually don't work with audio in After Effects. I would use Audition or Premiere for that. I'm going to show you some very basic effects that you can apply to make your footage look just a little bit better. So let's go to brightness and contrast. Drag and drop that onto there. You can also do effect, color correction. It's right here. But these are all the effects in After Effects. We'll go over a lot of them in the future, but right now we're just going to stick with the basics. So I'm actually going to increase the contrast, bring the brightness down, up, down just a tad, I'm also going to add a curves adjustment. Now this is a really nice effect. I use it all the time with just about every project. You can drag it up and down. It's basically a visual representation of a bunch of other color correction effects all in one thing. So I actually don't, the brightness and contrast actually looks good, so I don't need to adjust that at all. That would be the RGB that's adjusting every color channel. The red I'm going to bring down. The green I'm going to also bring down. And the blue I'm going to bring down. So that gives us kind of this darkish, almost green kind of look. Like, I don't know when you'd want this if you're trying to make something look eerie or scary. Boo! There's a camera there. Okay. And now if you can uncheck this effects thing, and it'll show you the difference of it on and off. And so I'll also show you just how to add a basic solid, just because I feel like that's important to know. So this is just going to be a black solid. If you hit S, it'll bring up the scale it down, and let's just take the pen tool and just draw a shape. Nice, what a shape. And now there's a black solid in there. And I'll show you how to motion track that in next time. But for this time, let's keep it plain and simple. So, something very cool about After Effects in Premiere is that when you bring something into After Effects by right-clicking on it and saying replace with After Effects composition, it will also be live updating in Premiere. Now this is so helpful because it just lets you see everything all in one place. If I hit enter, which I'm not going to do, but it would render this out in Premiere. I don't completely recommend doing that because you should have total control over your files in After Effects, and I'll show you exactly how to do that. So since this file is clearly beautiful and needs absolutely no further work, I'm going to hit add to render queue. Output module, these are our render settings. So I'm going to change it to QuickTime, format options, Avid DNx HD, codec settings, RGB levels, none, 2997, 1080p, and that looks good. Hit OK. Audio output off. We have it off on our clip anyway. There wouldn't have been any audio anyway, but might as well just turn it off. And output 2 here, and let's just do After Effects render 2. And that's 2 because I tried earlier and I've been here for a while. Okay, so let's hit render. It's going to render that shot out, and there's going to be a really satisfying noise. I want to make sure you guys can hear it. Very satisfying noise. Ready? Ba-da-ding. That's it. That's the sound of love. And so now this media is going to be offline because we just rendered that out to be somewhere else. So we can actually just delete that. And then find our After Effects render 2 and drag and drop that into Premiere. And you can drag it into here or directly on your timeline. If I know exactly where I'm putting it, I usually just do my timeline because there's no reason not to. And so there we go. We have a very basic, I guess you could say that's color grading, but you know, we'll go into that later, I guess. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this. I understand it was horribly basic and horribly made, but I am doing my best, and I will hopefully improve at talking into this microphone to a bunch of invisible people in the future. But thank you guys for watching. I'll be back. Haven't figured out a cool way to end these videos yet. So, catch you later.